Oh man, what happened to your crowd? Donald Trump gave this speech in front of a half full, 70% full crowd in Arizona. I mean, just take a look at it. Almost no one was waiting outside, like waiting to get in, about 70% full inside. And here's what Donald Trump was talking about. Here, just take a listen.
A lot of people coming out of the Congo, not just South America, they're coming from 181 countries as of yesterday. Right in, we're a dumping ground. We're like a garbage can for the world. That's what's happened. That's what's happened to our, we're like a garbage can. You know, it's the first time I've ever said that. And every time I come up and talk about what they've done to our country, I get angrier and angrier. First time I've ever said garbage can, but you know what? It's a very accurate description.
In contrast, Vice President Kamala Harris was in DeKalb County, Georgia, speaking in front of more than 20,000 people. Take a look at this crowd for Kamala Harris in Georgia. People are pumped up. Play the clip. Yeah, because people don't want to go back. We want to go forward. And take a look at what Donald Trump was talking about in his disastrous speech before your teeny tiny crowd, Donald. He goes, if you say lock him up, that's illegal. Here, play the clip.
Last night he blew it. He said, lock him up. He said lock him up last night. He's not allowed to say that. He's such a stupid guy. Such a stupid fool.
Donald, you're the guy who ran a campaign on lock 'em up. That was your entire shtick right there. Then Donald Trump gives this incoherent rant about, you gotta tell Jimmy. Hey, Jimmy, you gotta get out of your couch. Get your fat ass off your couch, Jimmy. What's this guy even talking about? Here, play the clip.
He doesn't even know what he's watching. Tell him, Jimmy, get up. You're getting up, Jimmy. Let's go. Let's go, Jimmy. I'm not going to use foul language. Get your fat ass out of the couch.
So you have that. And on the other hand, in front of 20,000 plus people at a stadium that's filled, Vice President Kamala Harris up there with former President Barack Obama as the crowd is chanting, yes, we can. Here, play this clip.
And make no mistake, we will win. We will win. We will win. Or as a certain former president would say, yes, we can.
Right, the contrast between hope, joy, optimism, compassion. Or over here, Donald Trump in Arizona saying that migrants, they have supreme military weapons and they've now occupied Times Square. Here, play the clip.
A threat. But they even are taking over parts of Times Square. They're all over the place now, and they have weapons like very few people have. So
here, Donald Trump claims that Putin invaded Afghanistan. I think he means Ukraine. Play the clip.
In the history of our country, because of that event, Putin went into Afghanistan. Putin went into...
Or here, Donald Trump tries to say Vice President Kamala Harris's name, and he just goes, Kamala Harsh. Here, play this clip.
With your vote this November, we are going to fire Kamala Harris. We're going to fire her. Get the hell. We're going to fire Kamala. We're going to get her out of here.
Folks, Donald Trump is very, very unwell. Contrast that to Vice President Kamala Harris, who's got Donald Trump's number. She's like, He's out there, stewing over his enemies list. She goes, what we need is a to-do list. Here, play this clip.
So, America, there is a huge contrast in this election. Just imagine the Oval Office in 3 months. Picture it in your mind. It is either, but there's a choice that everybody has. So let's imagine it for a moment. It's either Donald Trump in there, stewing over his enemies list, or me, working for you, checking off my to-do list. You have the power to make that decision. It is your power. It is your power.
And by the way, Vice President Kamala Harris put out her to-do list right here. Cutting taxes for more than 100 million Americans, strengthening Medicare and protecting Social Security, working with private sector to build 3 million new homes to increase housing supply and bring down costs, pass the bipartisan border security bill to strengthen and secure our border, restore reproductive freedom, legalize recreational marijuana, cap the cost of insulin at $35 per month and prescription drug costs at $2,000 a year for all Americans, expand Medicare to cover home care for seniors and people with disabilities, protect and strengthen the Affordable Care Act, promote common sense gun safety laws to protect American from gun violence, invest in American manufacturing and clean energy, expand the startup tax deduction for small businesses by 10 times to $50,000, give families a $6,000 tax credit during the first year of their child's life, pass the first ever federal ban on corporate price gouging on food and groceries, and more. In other words, actually giving proposals and policies that benefit the American people. Fall is here, the temperatures are dropping, and it's time to start baking delicious homemade favorites. Wildgrain, it's here to help you warm up your house with sourdough breads, fresh pastas, and artisanal pastries, including a wide array of seasonal offerings. Rumor has it they'll have a small number of apple cider donuts, so get them before they sell out. They make it so easy by doing all the hard work for you. And if you're not familiar with Wildgrain, it's the first bake from frozen subscription box for artisanal breads and pastries and pastas. Wildgrain's boxes are fully customizable to your tastes and dietary restrictions. In addition to their classic variety box, they recently launched a new gluten-free box and a plant-based box that is 100% vegan. Best of all, they take the hassle out of baking, since all items bake from frozen in 25 minutes or less with no mess or cleanup. It's why I love this service. You know how busy I am here on the MeidasTouch network, so I love making a pasta that's delicious, it's quick, and I impress my wife with my cooking skills. So are you ready to bring all your favorite carbs right to your doorstep? Be sure to check out Wildgrain so you can begin building your own box of artisanal breads, pastas, and pastries. For a limited time, Wildgrain is offering our listeners $30 off the first box plus free croissants in every box when you go to wildgrain.com/Meidas. Wildgrain.com/Meidas to start your subscription. You heard me. Free croissants in every box and $30 off your first box when you go to wildgrain.com/Meidas. That's wildgrain.com/Meidas, or you can use promo code Meidas at checkout. On the other hand, you have Donald Trump saying things like, I'm going to liberate this country. There's an invasion and I'm liberating it. Here, play the clip.
The United States is now an occupied country, but it will soon be an occupied country no longer. We're not going to have this. November 5th, 2024 will be called Liberation Day in America. We're going to be liberated.
Or Donald Trump calling the press the enemy of the people. Play this clip.
They're just bad people. And until we get a fair and free press in this country, they're just bad people. I mean, look how easy. Here you have, all they have to do is just go, 1 inch this way and 1 inch this way, and you got it. They don't want to do that. They're the enemy of the people. They are. They're the enemy of the. I've been asked not to say it. I don't want to say it. They're the enemy of the people. And someday they're not going to be the enemy of the people, I hope.
As former President Barack Obama says, though, in politics, one rule that's kind of always been pretty clear is you don't praise Adolf Hitler like Donald Trump did. Here, play this clip.
The other day, General John Kelly, Donald Trump's former chief of staff, said that Trump told him he wanted his generals to be like Hitler's generals. Now, don't boo, vote. Now, I want to explain that in politics, a good rule of thumb is don't say you want to do anything like Hitler. That's just good political advice.
Or here, former President Barack Obama, speaking in Georgia, also said, I gave people relief checks. President Biden gave people relief checks. You know what we didn't have to do? Put our names on it, because it's not about us. It's about the people. Play the clip.
You can't give him credit for that. And then I hear, the other thing I hear, some folks will be like, well, Donald Trump sent me a check during the pandemic. No. Y'all know, because I've heard this. I know some of you heard that. Hey, let me make sure y'all understand this. Joe Biden sent you a check during the pandemic, just like I gave people relief during the Great Recession. The thing is, we didn't put our name on it because it wasn't about feeding our egos. It wasn't about advancing our politics. It was about helping people. That's the difference. Don't be giving them credit for that. Come on. They sent you a check. Do not fall for that okie doke. Don't be bamboozled. Don't get fooled.
Here's one of my favorite moments from Donald Trump's speech where he goes, San Francisco was one of the greatest cities in the world 16 years ago. Play the clip.
San Francisco, one of the greatest cities in the world, 15, 16 years ago. And California, when she was Attorney General, a disaster between her and Gavin Newsom.
Yeah, Donald, guess who was the district attorney of San Francisco 16 years ago? Vice President Kamala Harris was. Also, Donald Trump over here praises Venezuela 15 years ago under Hugo Chavez. Here, play this clip.
An embarrassment. Nobody will even know. It'll happen so fast. It can happen fast. Look at Venezuela. 15 years ago, Venezuela was a thriving, incredible country, and now the people can't get a bottle of water.
One of the things I think it's important to share with you as well, though, when Donald Trump begins his speeches, did you know that Donald Trump doesn't play the national anthem? Did you know Donald Trump plays the January 6th insurrectionist anthem, where they tell people to rise and salute the insurrectionists? Don't believe me? Watch.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the horribly and unfairly treated January 6th hostages.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light, was so proud.
And here Donald Trump is attacking his former chief of staff, John Kelly, saying John Kelly is a bad guy. Because John Kelly publicly said that Donald Trump loves or admires Hitler and Hitler's generals, and that Trump is a fascist. Here, play the clip.
Call me a fascist, and everyone knows that's not true. They call me everything until, something sticks.
I want to give you a chance to respond to your former chief of staff, John Kelly, directly. He said some things about you, essentially accusing you of disparaging American soldiers in an Atlantic article. When's the last time you talked to him, and how would you like to respond?
Years ago, I fired him. He was a bully, he was a bad guy, and he ended up being a weak guy because all bullies end up being weak. And he wasn't a smart guy. It's a bad combination. But I fired him. He made a statement that I'm like Hitler. It's just couldn't be further from the truth. It's just the opposite, actually.
Well, there you have it, folks. Contrast clear? Hit subscribe. Let's get to 4 million subscribers together. Thanks for watching.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Midas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.